Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. I've got a completely unexpected unboxing for you today. This literally just arrived, and when I saw the box sitting on the front porch, I'll post a picture of what the box looked like. I was a little concerned. First, I didn't know what it was. I wasn't expecting anything. So when I saw the Compass label, I was like, "What in the world is this? Why is it so heavy? Why is it so big? And why does it look like it's being kicked by elephants?" But it was burning banners, and it did not expect this soon. I didn't realize this was even on the way. I didn't get a shipping notification or anything. But I've been waiting on this one for a while. If you watch the channel, you know I like role-playing games as well as war games. And when I first heard about this one, that it was going to be a fantasy game, but it was going to be a war game that was a strategic war game with a fantasy theme. I mean, how many of those are out there in the wargaming world? I can't think of a whole lot. So I jumped all over this one. I kickstarted it probably the day it was released on Kickstarter. And I'm anxious to play this game. I really like the fact that it's a fantasy game and it's strategic and it promises to be deep, story-like. I love narratives in playing these games, and I think this is going to have that. And what I want to do here today, though, is an unboxing. Let's see what's in here and look at the components. And actually, before I open up the box, and I'm having a hard time opening it anyway because this is a 3-inch box. So this is a thick, heavy box, probably 3 pounds, 4 pounds. I don't really know. So let's look at the back here real quick at the complexity, low to medium, time scale 4 seasons per year. Map scale is 1 Imperial League per hex. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. Armies and heroes you have for the units. Number of players, this is also really interesting, is 2 to 6 players. So you could have 6 players fighting out on this grand strategic fantasy map. And all those players are different. So you have things like orcs, and you'd have dwarves, and I guess humans, and each of those players will have their own unique abilities. Suitability for solitaire medium, again, I'm going to laugh that off. Average time to play 1 or more hours depending on the scenario, and there's supposed to be a lot of scenarios in this. And then the components, 240 1-inch hand-drawn counters, and I'm really curious to see what all the components really look like in here, but what those counters look like. 162 5/8-inch rounded counters, coin counters, 17 by 22 mounted hand-drawn maps with 1.5-inch wide hexes. I don't think I have a war game with hexes that large. The only game I can think of would be like Command and Colors has large hexes, but I don't even think those are 1.5. Maybe they are. 206 playing cards, books, play mats, 6 dual layer play mats, player aids and dice and postcard art prints and more dice and all kinds of cool stuff. Let's dive in. I try to get the lid off of this. Burning banners. I can't believe this showed up. So right off the top here, we've got, these are those postcards I think they're talking about. I'm going to pull this paper off if I can and without destroying the cards. Let's make some room here and we'll take it as we go. And there's hero, yeah, see the hero, I'll let you see this. Hero, Army of the Night. So there are heroes for your empires. I'm assuming these are for your empires. Maybe these can show up with any of the players, but I'm guessing not, because I think Army of the Night and Goblins are actually empires in this game. So hand-drawn artwork. This is really nice looking stuff. This is what you would see if you're into role-playing games, fantasy role-playing games. It's very similar to the art you would see in the rule books, the core rule books for those games. And it looks like there's multiple heroes, so that's good. The Oathborn, there's our dwarves. The Fjordland, Army of the Night again. So it looks like you get a couple of heroes per empire. There's the orcs. The Oathborn, Fjordland again, the Eastern Empire, and the Eastern Empire. So those are really cool looking. I love the artwork on those. And digging on in, get the plastic off of this because we don't need that. There are 3 books here, so we'll take them in order. This is, what is this? Traveler's Guide. So I'm not sure what this might be. It's not the rule book because I see that down below. This may just be the background story and information on the setting, and that's what it looks like. And there's the God of Winter, Goddess of balance. So a lot of lore, and of course here's the magic. So this is awesome. This is what I wanted to see. So I'm playing this type of game. I want a narrative. I want story to go with it. So that's going to give us some background information. This is the rule book. This is really, let's get this out of the way because this is really what I'm curious about. Christopher Muller's Burning Banners. Rage of the Witch Queen. So very nice. This is glossy paper. Again, I like the glossy paper. You've heard me say that because it does tend to hold up over time better than the matte paper. The large print, so I appreciate that with my vision. I like the large print, like the color. Now I'm looking at the counter artwork and I'm hoping the counters look like this. I'm hoping there's no corner clipping needed. And then we can just punch those out and go. There's your basic game setup, and we'll look at the play mats and those maps when we get into the box. There's different abilities for characters, settlements. And I'll just flip through here. Activation phase. So again, this is supposed to be a war game with a fantasy theme. So it should play like, if you're a war gamer, you should feel familiar in playing this. That's what I've been told. That's what I've read about this game. And that's exactly what I wanted, was a fantasy war game. And it being on the strategic scale just makes it better. Now here's the advanced game. So the basic game looks like there's 29 pages, and then you go into this advanced game with even more rules that you have. There's heroes. So the advanced game takes you on up to, looks like 54 pages. So this is a pretty hefty rule book, and I actually like to see that. There's some unit ratings on the back of this thing. So that's cool. Again, I don't know much about this game. I didn't have to know much about it to know that I wanted to buy it. This is the campaign book. Now I have played Gloomhaven, and there is a campaign to that game. I don't know if this campaign book is like that or not. But let's see, campaign instructions. It's looking like maybe you'll follow some scenarios here. So all those scenarios in the game maybe get put together to form a campaign. Makes sense. Yeah, see, number of players 2 with some information there. Victory conditions and setup. So that's exactly what this is. So that's cool. Love the artwork in this. Almost looks like some of the more recent fantasy computer games that I've seen. Actually, I'd have to say it looks a little better than that. They said this is all hand-drawn art, and if it is really, really good artwork. It's actually better than, like I said, some of the art that I've seen in some of the more recent RPGs that I've purchased. So cool. That's cool. Get into, what is this? Magic? Oh, this is pretty heavy. This is a big stack of, counters. So the counters are shrink wrapped with whatever this magic card display is. So let me get the plastic off of this. All right, and as I'm getting the plastic off, one of the counters fell out. So it looks like it's like money. So we'll have to figure out where that goes. So let me kind of make some more room here. Look at the magic card display. Again, I have no idea what this does in game. I'm brand new to this game, as I imagine a lot of you are going to be brand new to this game. So there's a spell deck, a spell discard pile, and a treasure deck and a blessing discard pile. So that's cool. The season display. So this is your turn track, your income track. These are all one-sided so far, but these are really thick. I don't know if you can see that. They're a darker core, but they're rigid and they are very thick. And I love to see that. So these are those, I guess, those play mats that we were told about, and you get one for each empire. I'm going to hold these two up. Now, the cool thing about this is it's recessed, so I'm assuming there would be a token that you would put into the, or maybe multiple tokens. Maybe this holds all of the units that you have. And there's your hero for the advanced game. So that's really cool. These are just as thick as those other cards I showed you. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 6. Yeah, there's 6. So, and as I was saying, I'm going to get these spread out here. You can tell I'm pretty excited about receiving this game. Looking forward to getting this to the table, hopefully with a group of people and solo. So these are the 6 empires in the game: Army of the Night, Nordland, the Eastern Empire, the Oathborn, Goblins, and the Orcs. You will have one of these sitting in front of you if you're playing the game. So these are very nice, and each one has its name on the back. Those do have printing on the backside. Now here are the counters. How many counter sheets are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to tell you already that these are just as thick as those player boards and those other boards I showed you. So let's just grab one. I won't grab them all. We'll grab the one that had the coin fall out. I can find it. Here it is. This is just miscellaneous type markers, it looks like. And there's another one getting ready to fall out. So these are going to come right out of the cardboard here. There's no rounding necessary. They're going to come right out of this board and into a counter tray. For me, I'm assuming. These are really, really awesome looking counters. So these are the units for the empires. Let you see those, and we'll flip them over. These are the back sides. And the artwork, again, really nice artwork. I'm really, really liking the artwork. Counter sheet 2. You're going to get one of these for each empire. I'm seeing creatures, and it's the Army of the Night. And I'm looking, so let's see, do you flip these when they get damaged? So the giant bat has 2 5s on it, and it gets flipped over. And he still has a 5, but he's got a 3. It could be some kind of reduction in strength. I don't know. Looking forward to learning the rules of the game. There's the orcs, more of the Army of the Night. More orcs. Now we get into the goblins. And there's some monsters. So these look pretty generic. We'll flip those over in a second to take a look. Sea monsters. And there's some more just, looks like empire tokens. Aha, so on the back side, and like I said, these counters are going to fall right out. On the back side, you'll randomly encounter these monsters. The front side are all the same. The back side, though, will tell you exactly what the counter is when you reveal it, which is going to add to replayability. And this looks like just more status tracking counters. Very cool. I'm really, really excited to get this to the table. Oh my goodness. So what are we talking here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these D6. They are not pipped. They are numbered. And they're engraved. They're not just stamped or printed on there. They're actually engraved. So that is nice. Kudos to Compass. More dice. These look like D8s, and it looks like there are 4 of these D8s. And these are also engraved. Nice. And here we have cards. So there are, let me look in there, 4 decks of these. Spell cards, blessing cards. These look like hero cards, yeah. And this looks like ability cards, battle magic. So maybe these are special abilities that we will acquire. Let's open up one or more of these card decks just to take a look at what the cards look like and how they feel. As you know, I like the casino feeling sturdy cards, and these feel just like that. So there are blessing cards, and we saw that on the play mat where the blessing cards would go. Let's look at some of those blessings. All to Glory, West to the Western Isles. And I honestly don't feel like looking at too many of these cards. I kind of want to encounter them as I go through the game. Next up, we have spell cards, and these are all spell cards. There's a Heat Ray, Dust Devil, Necromancy, Sleep. Oh, this is really neat. Blessing Hands, Demonic Possession. Really cool. This is exactly what you want to see in a fantasy game, especially a fantasy war game. The next card deck. So these look like heroes. Are they all heroes? Information card. Oh, that's kind of neat. Let's take a look at that. It's an information card for the Army of the Night. Vampires. The orcs information card again. So there's the other information card for the other powers in the game. And that last set of cards, blessing cards and treasure cards. So let's take a look at some of the blessings in here. Out of the shadows, place a wandering monster within 5 hexes of an unexplored lair. Treasure. So let's just grab a random treasure and see what we get. White Wolf Amulet. Caster and stacked army gain +2 to their movement. And Feral. These are all just treasure cards. And as many cards as there are, the different treasures and the blessings and the magic spells, the replayability has got to be high in this game. So now let's look at the maps. And actually, before we do that, we've got one. Let's not look at the maps. We'll look at those last. We have combat. These are player aid cards. And these are both the same. So you can share. This is the combat resolution. Location, strikes, turn sequence, actions, sorts of things you would like to see in a player aid card. And there's the terrain effects, which we are used to in wargaming. At least we should be. Let's look now at the first map board. And again, it's the same thickness as those other cards. Everything was printed on these really thick mounted map board type material. And I don't know if, I'm assuming if you played smaller scenarios that you would play maybe with just one of the maps, but if you played the entire game that maybe you would end up putting all of the maps onto the table. I mean, that artwork is just awesome. Of course, they would not go that way, but maybe they go the other way. Are they numbered? Well, that would be upside down. So this one must go up here. I'm trying to see what it says in the corner. Okay, Imperial Heartland, Glitterfield. And so your empires will start off in specific areas, like the dwarves, for instance, would start in the mountains somewhere. I don't have room to get all these maps on the board together. So we'll just look at them individually. The Eastern Sea. And the final one. There are 4 of these 17 by 22 maps. If these are all put together for one big game, it is going to be a huge, huge map. And that makes sense because remember, these hexes are very large hexes. They're 1.5-inch hexes. So you would need the space for that. I'm really digging the art style on that map if I haven't said so. This is going to be freaking awesome. All right, that's it. I just got this and I wanted to get an unboxing done as quickly as I could, because that way I can start learning the rules and learning how to play this thing. This is Christopher Muller's Burning Banners, Rage of the Witch Queen. I am really looking forward to getting this to the table. It may be a while. I've got GMT's US Civil War that I'm going through, and that's going to take up a big table. And I'm about to start a playthrough of either, well, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do a playthrough yet on the small table. I guess we'll see it when it gets posted. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and that way you'll be notified when I do start a playthrough of this. And as always, I thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you back here next time.